Howdy, BookTube. Hope y'all are doing well. This is the top 10 opening paragraphs in books that I've read. Was suggested by Dane over at Dane Reads, Dane Cobain. I'm sure everybody knows him. Now, this is my top 10 of books that I had available. I've got 300 or 400 scattered around here. Some's on loan, some's not. So these aren't really in any particular order. I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Took me a while to gather these up, so let's do it. First one, Thinner. Stephen King writing as Richard Bachman. Here we go. I might actually step up to the camera when I read these. Thinner, the old gypsy man with the riding nose, whispers to William Halleck as Halleck and his wife Heidi come out of the courthouse. Just one word, sent on the wafting, cloying sweetness of his breath. Thinner. Before Halleck can jerk away, the old gypsy reaches out and caresses his cheek with one twisted finger. His lips spread open like a wound, showing a few tombstone stumps poking out of his gums. They're black and green. His tongue squirms between them and then slides out to slick his grinning bitter lips. Thinner. Norstrilia, Cordwainer Smith. Story, place, and time. These are the essentials. The story is simple. There was a boy who bought the planet Earth. We know that to our cost. It only happened once, and we have taken pains that it will never happen again. He came to Earth, got what he wanted, and got away alive in a series of very remarkable adventures. That's the story. The Cipher by Kathe Koja. Nakota, who saw it first, long spider legs drawn up beneath her ugly skirt, wise mouth pursed into nothing like a smile, sitting in my dreary third-floor flat on a dreary thrift shop chair, the window light behind her dull and gray as dirty fur, and she alive, giving off her dark continuous sparks. Around us the remains of this day's argument, squashed beer cans, stolen bar ashtrays sloped full. You know it, she said, that black hole thing, right in space, big dark butthole, and she laughed, showing those tiny teeth, fox teeth, not white and not ivory yellow either, like most people's, almost bluish, as if with some undreamed of decay beneath them. Nakota would rot differently from other people. She would be the first to admit it. Cipher by Kathe Koja. They Thirst by Robert McCammon. Tonight there were demons in the hearth. They spun, arced, and spat at the eyes of the boy who sat at the fire's edge, his legs crossed under him, in that unconscious way children have of being incredibly supple. Chin supported by palms, elbows supported by knees, he sat in silence, watching the flames gather, merge, and break into fragments that hissed with secrets. He had turned 9 only 6 days ago, but now he felt very old because Papa wasn't home yet, and those fire demons were laughing. The Terror by Dan Simmons. Now I may take some liberties and read a little more than a paragraph, so you get the gist. Captain Crozier comes up on deck to find his ship under attack by celestial ghosts. Above him, above terror, shimmering folds of light lunge, but then quickly withdraw like the colorful arms of aggressive, but ultimately uncertain specters. Ectoplasmic skeletal fingers extend toward the ship, open, prepare to grasp, and pull back. Terror by Dan Simmons. Next, Stephen King, The Tommyknockers. For want of a nail, the kingdom was lost. That's how the catechism goes when you boil it down. In the end, you can boil everything down to something similar, or so. Roberta Anderson thought much later on. It's either all an accident or all fate. Anderson literally stumbled over her destiny in the small town of Haven, Maine on June 21st, 1988. That stumble was the root of the matter. All the rest was nothing but history. Tommyknockers by Stephen King. Next we have Terry Pratchett, Hogfather. Everything starts somewhere, although many physicists disagree. People have always been dimly aware of the problem with the start of things. They wonder aloud how the snowplow driver gets to work, or how the makers of dictionaries look up the spellings of the words. Yet there is the constant desire to find some point in the twisting, knotting, raveling nets of space-time on which a metaphorical finger can be put to indicate that here's the point where it all began. Terry Pratchett, Hogfather. Plan on reading some more Terry Pratchett. We have Ray Bradbury, The Small Assassin, and this is from one of the stories, one of my favorite Ray Bradbury stories, The Lake. If you can read this without crying, then you're, I don't know. The wave shut me off from the world, from the birds in the sky, the children on the beach, my mother on the shore. There was a moment of green silence. Then the wave gave me back to the sky, the sand, the children yelling. I came out of the lake and the world was waiting for me, having hardly moved since I went away. You have to read the whole story to get that. The Lake by Ray Bradbury. It's in the Small Assassin collection. Next we have Louis L'Amour, Walking Drum. Nothing moved but the wind, and only a few last lingering drops of rain, only a blowing of water off the ruined wall. Listening, I heard no other sound. My imagination was creating foes where none existed. Only hours ago death had visited this place. This heap of charred ruins had been my home. A night ago I had lain staring into the darkness of the ceiling, dreaming as always of lands beyond the sea. Now my mother lay in a shallow grave dug by my own hands, and my home was a ruin where rainwater gathered in the hollows of the ancient stone floor, a floor put down by my ancestors before memory began. It's The Walking Drum by Louis L'Amour. Let me wet my whistle. And few of my lists are complete without Midworld by Alan Foster. World with no name, green it was, green and gravid. It lay supine in a sea of sibilant jet, a festering emerald in the universe ocean. It did not support life, rather on its surface life exploded, erupted, multiplied and thrived beyond imagining. From a soil base so rich it all but lived itself, a verdant magma spilled forth to inundate the land, and it was a green. Oh, it was a green so bright it had its own special niche in the spectrum of the impossible, a green pervasive and everywhere all at once omnipotent green. World of a chlorophyllous God. Read it. So, thank you folks for hanging with me, and thanks Dane for the suggestion, and everybody else feel free to tackle this. It was a lot of fun. It took me a while to find these books, but thanks as always, and catch y'all later.